Hey guys, and welcome back to the Black Health Academy. I'm Lisa A. Smith, founder of the Black Health Academy, and I'm so excited for this month's masterclass. Today, I'm sitting down with one of my favorite people, client and friend, Miss Tracey Crawley. She's going to talk about her journey from 600 pounds, active mother of 3 boys, limited transportation, limited income, and she's still been able to lose the weight on her own without surgery and limited resources. So Tracey is going to share her journey with you all today. I have no doubt that you'll be extremely motivated and inspired by her and begin to believe that you can do it too. So let's welcome Tracey into the Black Health Academy. Hey Trace.
How y'all doing?
So, welcome to the Black Health Academy. I'm so excited for you today. We're going to deep dive into everything me and you talk about all the time anyway.
Absolutely.
So, it's going to be no big deal. So, let's start off kind of telling the people who you are, what you do, and kind of how we got started working together.
I'm Tracey Crawley, and I have 3 boys, and what I do, I have been a homemaker for many years, and for a long time, I've just been taking care of basically the home and doing what I needed to do until things had to change for me.
Yes, absolutely. So, Tracey, how old are your boys?
My oldest is 22, my second oldest is 19, and my youngest is 18.
Okay. And 2 of them are still at home, right?
Yes.
Yes. 2 are at home, and 1 just recently went away to college.
Yes.
Okay. So Tracey came on as a client of mine through my first company, which is a coaching company called Professionally Fit. And she started with us in January of 2016, right? So it's been 2 years that we've been working together. So Tracey, let's start off kind of talking about a little bit about where you started. When you came to us at Professionally Fit, you applied for a scholarship that we were offering. You won the scholarship, and you decided to take that leap.
Yes.
And you had many options to try and lose the weight.
Absolutely.
But you made the decision to do what?
To do it naturally.
Yeah. And why is that?
Because I believe nature is next to natural. And when nature is next to natural, it's like, for me, I grew up around people that did everything naturally, even from, getting their food or doing everything to make incomes meet, far as doing, what they were gifted to do,
Yes.
So it was like, for me, I had a choice, and don't get me wrong, I battled with it, because the simple fact is like, okay, I can just go and, just have this surgery, but I had to remember that the same thing when I get this surgery, it probably would have been a quick thing for me, but I still had to maintain and do what I needed to do after the fact that the surgery, was done. So, and then another thing was too, is I even had to wait a year to see if I got approved. So if I would have sat there and allowed myself to wait on a doctor, and then what if they told me, Tracey, you were denied?
Yeah.
And then that would have been a whole year.
Yeah.
For me, thinking, I'm like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and or whatever. And the thing that had to come to me was, it was time for me to renew my mindset.
Yes. I love it. And that's a big one. And I think it's important to say here too that even if someone decides to get the surgery, they still have to renew their mindset.
Yep.
Because you still have to do everything you had to do if you didn't get the surgery. You have to wrap your mind around eating a certain way. You have to wrap your mind around physical movement. And so you decided to just cut out the surgery and do all those things anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
So at your biggest, you were how much?
600.
600 pounds.
Yes.
And when's the last time you were 600 pounds? What year was that?
That was like maybe in, I would say like 2012, somewhere around there. But it was like I began the journey to start getting it off and everything, because I didn't have a choice, because I was married, and my husband had left me, because he would begin to do the things that he needed to do as far as taking care of me. And I blessed him on his way, but it was like, it was more strain. It was like having to wash me up and do all these type of things. And in my mindset, I felt like, okay, you're my husband, you're supposed to do it. But then at the same time, it was like, I had no confidence. I had no self-esteem. It was like, okay, he can do it, that's my husband or whatever, and it is what it is. But when a person is fed up or whatever and you don't appreciate it, it's like it's out the window.
Yes.
And then when my husband had left, then my children had to step in. And then that was a really big battle for me. In the beginning, I didn't see it as a where that it was strain and stress on them. It was like, okay, y'all my kids, and your stepfather or your father left, so I need y'all to help me. But it was like I was in anger, I was bitter and everything. So I'm telling them to do this and do this, and got to the point where they got tired. And so for many years, it was going on and going on and going on. And the thing was, it was like there were signs for me to get myself together, but I didn't. That mindset was I had a strong hold on my mindset to not do it or whatever, to the point where it was like, it is what it is. Y'all my kids. I take care of y'all. Y'all should be able to take care of me. I had that mindset.
Right.
And so it was like for many years, it went on and went on up until almost 3 years.
Wow.
3 years ago.
Right. And so for a big part of your life, you had to rely on other people to handle your basic everyday needs.
Absolutely.
Cleanliness of yourself, of the household. And it was strictly your weight that was preventing you from being able to do those things. So tell us briefly kind of how you got to become 600 pounds.
It was, I believe, from childhood, things that I were going through, and then, the grief of my father. My father died when I was 14, and then, from the teasing from high school, because I was thick, but I wasn't, there. And then it was like when I got out of high school, I had my children from back to back, and so all that, when dealing with low self-esteem, dealing with low confidence or whatever, my drug of choice, as they say, was food. If I can get into a room or get away from everybody and eat and numb myself, I'm okay. See, it's like more of what I'm feeling in my mindset. I try to down it with food to get over it, but at the same time, when whatever I was doing in private, it showed up in public, and that was in my body.
Yeah. So you tried to bury your emotions with food, and it began to manifest in your body, and it just got out of control. And you looked up, and someone was taking care of you.
Yeah.
So is it safe to say that your weight is mostly the reason your marriage ended?
Yeah, and then other things. Yeah, I know mostly because, when you go into a marriage, but, but me believing like, okay, we're two, I'll be there for you, you be there for me. But it's like, okay, we really about to get married. And then it was like, I was scared or whatever, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, if he's marrying me, and then here's the thing, it was like, don't get me wrong, because sometimes my mindset, the only reason why I married him, he's a good father, don't get me wrong, but in my mindset, it was more the self-esteem. I wanted him because I felt that he liked me because I was a big girl. So it was really more of the emotional, of the low part of me that attracted to that situation for me, and then it was like, now that is in there, it's like I'm not really feeling this, but it was like I had to go with it because he's basically the one that's helping me, because my kids were smaller.
So did you feel like, oh, he's all that I could get anyway, or
yes?
But in reality, it's not what you deserve.
It's not what I desired.
Yes.
It was more of, okay, well, he like a big girl, and then his mom and stuff, they moved away or whatever. So it's like I'm helping him and he helping me or whatever. But it wasn't a marriage. It was more of a marriage, but not. It was more of a wedding than not a marriage. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
It's like we basically just. It is what it is, So.
Okay, so after going through that and your kids beginning to take care of you, what kind of pushed you to apply for our scholarship at Professionally Fit? What made you say, I'm going to take this leap of faith and try to apply to get help versus going to have the surgery or taking, some type of weight loss pill or something?
The thing was, it was more of... I would say it was more of like, when my mom passed away in 2010 or whatever, it was like I was really trying to, release the weight or whatever. And, but after she passed away, and, I had got down real good. I was able to do a little more than what I needed to do. And when she passed away, I began to go up. So one day I went to my spiritual leader, and she called me out. She said, Tracey, I'm concerned about you. And she was like, I'm concerned, I see you was losing weight, but, now you picking back up, what's going on with you? And, I was like, I told her, I said, I'm really battling. I'm really struggling. And I was like, I need, I'm thinking about getting a surgery or whatever. And she was like, just pray about it, keep meditating or whatever, and it'll come to you or whatever. And so it was like, I'm like, okay. And then she was like, and then she had started, she was like, I'm going to get you some fruits and vegetables. I need you to start with this. And I'm like, okay, cool. And so then she actually was the one to tell me about, signing up for the scholarship. And then so I went on there, I signed up, then I deleted it. Then I did it again, then I deleted it. Then I deleted it again, then I did it, but it was like, I was battling.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay. I said, if this for me, everything that I need to have is going to show up.
Absolutely.
So it was like I was still battling, but what woke me up was I had an opportunity where I ended up being, kind of sick or whatever, and there was a couple people in my life that I really cared about came into my life, and things had went on far as I was liking a young man, and things didn't work out with him, and then my niece had did some things or whatever. And what really hurted me was when my niece had told me that, she basically told me what was true. Your kids got to wash you up and you this and this and this and that, because she had did some things and I caught her doing it, but I blessed her on her way. But the thing was, it was like, I couldn't say no. It was the truth.
It was the truth.
It was the truth.
Regardless of how it came out.
How it came out, it was the truth.
Yeah.
And so when everybody got quiet, when everybody went to bed, I went into my room and I said, God, I said, if you get me out this time, I promise you I will do what I need to do. But I said, here's the thing, I might eat more than 2 or 3 chips or 2, but it's going to work out. But I need you, because I've had people to come in to bless me, to, help me to, but it was like my mindset wasn't there. I said, but if you come in and do this time, I promise you. But some things I, kind of got to shake through.
Right.
But I promise you I'm there.
That's right.
And then it was like, okay, I'm about to do this. I'm about to write this, what's the name? I'm about to write this essay, and I'm about to do it. And I did it. And I'm like, okay, I did it. And then I submitted it. And then that's when the phone call came.
Wow. And we've been going ever since.
I'm
so proud of you. Okay, so when we got started on your journey, let's talk about some of the things you were battling. Because I know you were battling with diabetes, hypertension, asthma, anemia, and then obviously obesity. So all of these chronic illnesses, and they were all essentially from the obesity, right? And then the little family history, some of it runs in your family. So were you on any medications for any of these things?
Yeah, I was on the how they do it, what is it, the 500 milligrams of I can't, it's everybody, the ones about the diabetes, they know.
Metformin?
Metformin.
Yes.
I was on the high blood pressure medicine. I was on the iron pills, taking it 3 times a day. They put me on it, and basically I had to take inhalers or whatever if they felt like, it was a lot of medicine that was prescribed to me.
Yeah, and issues with breathing. Right. Okay, so all of those medications, what are you on now?
Nothing.
Come on now, Trace. No medications.
No medication.
So you've been working on this weight loss journey for over 2 years. Over 2 years. When you came to us at Professionally Fit, you weighed how much? Because you weren't 600 pounds when you applied for the scholarship. You had got down a little bit on your own. And then that's when you said you were on your way creeping back up. But how much did you weigh in January of 2016?
506.
And how much do you weigh today?
367.
Wow.
Hey, I'm telling you, it works if you're working, baby. Okay.
I love it.
Yes.
And how do you feel today? What's the difference?
So good. When I tell you I feel so, I'm telling you, this will bless your life. You hear me? I'm not going to tell you nothing that I don't know. Because if I tell you something I don't know, then you're going to question it.
Yes.
But I'm telling you from experience. From coming from 600 pounds and then battling, going back up, and then being 506, and then here's the opportunity that I'm able to wash my own body.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? And guess what, y'all? I can fit in my tub. Okay, don't play with me.
Tracey, I still remember
Yeah.
when you texted me and was like,
I sent her a picture.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. First of all, you sent me a picture
Yes.
in your tub.
I'm like,
guess who just
excuse
got
me,
in the
coach,
tub?
but I just had to, I ain't show her all this, I'm saying, all this goodness. But I just showed her, I'm like, look, I showed her the tub, and I started crying.
Yes.
Because it was like, when a person is that heavy, the first thing they're going to tell you, the person is going to tell you need to get the surgery because, you've been carrying around. And here's another thing. You have to go within because, friends and family can tell you, okay, you might as well go on and get the surgery. I had a friend, and I love her, God bless her, whatever. Mm-hmm. She was like, Tracey, you need to get the surgery. I've been watching you. We've been going to high school together. And we end up, going to the seminar and everything. And my spirit said, don't do it. And I'm telling her, I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. She got upset with me and did not want to talk to me for a couple of days.
Wow.
And I had to stand in my truth.
Wow.
I had to stand in my truth. And that's the thing. You have to stand in your truth. If natural way is for you, it is for you. Look, see, you see what I'm saying? 100%. 100% natural chocolate, okay? 100%. But I'm just saying, this back a few years ago, I couldn't talk to you like this. But see, when you do the work and when you put on the work, baby, let me tell you something. Mm-hmm. Coach will tell you, when she first met me, I'm like, she was like, walk. I said, walk where? You understand what I'm saying?
Very resistant.
Ooh, and here's the thing, here's the thing. And what I love about my coach was, coach, she don't go to everybody's house when you first meet. She'll have you meet.
No, I don't like homes.
She'll have you meet at Whole Foods or whatever closest thing to you. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I'm like, look. And at first it was Miss Lisa. I'm like, look, I hurt my leg. And that's the thing, I hurt my leg. I said, but she said, well, I'm right down here at Whole Foods. I was thinking all types of ways. I said, I might have to catch a cab. I'm like, I can't do all that. I really wanted God, but... And she was like, well, and I didn't even know where she was going to meet me at. And she was like, I'm down at Whole Foods. I said, Miss Lisa, this is before she came my coach. I was like, I'm right down the street. I said, I promise you, I'll show you the doctor papers and everything. You safe, you can come, whatever. And when she was like, she breathed for a minute.
I did.
She was like, okay. But when she came in, she was looking around, and boom.
It was over.
It was over.
We had instant chemistry.
Yeah.
And you were open and honest. And you've talked about that in the past. Because, you said other people have tried to come in and help you and you weren't ready. You were very resistant. Mentally, you weren't ready. But it was something about the timing that was right. And so I was willing to come out. You were willing to show up and do the work. Right? And so how did we start, Trace? Because we started just walking. But I mean...
But see here, remember you forgot, Coach. Look, we started. Remember you told me to start walking from the couch when I had the couch to the bathroom.
Trace, I didn't. You're right. I forgot about that.
Cause I wasn't going outside. Remember, I wasn't going outside.
That's right.
People. I was not going outside.
Right. You had some anxiety about being in public.
Yeah, because when you see people looking at you because of your weight and your stomach hanging out, and look, my stomach getting small. I'm telling you, it's getting small.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Because she already know. I told her I'm getting a piercing. Okay? I'm letting her know right now. Yes. Okay. Okay, come on, Coach. Okay.
But you had a lot of anxiety about going outside, about being seen in public, a lot of embarrassment, and a lot really self-conscious.
Yes.
Like most people are when they're overweight. And so us having to just start in the house and getting you to move around the house was a big deal.
Because the only time when I would really get up is when I have to use the bathroom, and I will hold it to the point where I couldn't hold it no more. That's how much I didn't want to get up because my back was on 100. Okay?
Wow. So because chronic back pain.
Yeah, baby.
What else? So, and then you have, even if you don't mind being candid, times where you have used the bathroom on yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I used the bathroom on myself, and it was like my kids had to get up, and then it was like when I got on the toilet, it was like it was stuff all on the toilet, and the kids was like, Ma, like, come on, whatever. And that was another thing. And then, that also inspired me because my oldest son and all of them was like, Ma, what you gonna do when we leave to go to college? What you talking about? What and it was like, what? And, and my kids are becoming older to the point where, it's like if they decide to leave, it's like, what you gonna do?
Right.
And it was like I was holding them hostage, and that was another thing. Sometimes we can hold our kids hostage or whatever because of something that we dealing with, because I've even also had friends, that dealt with the obesity, and some of them, still depending on people. And then I have one, I love her. She like my sister. She's in a nursing home. And she still have to depend on people. And, like I told her, and I encourage her every day. I said, it'll work if you work it.
That's right.
If you're willing to do the work, it'll work it. But sometimes you have to be selfish and say enough is enough.
Yes.
And you have to do it for yourself. You love people and you want everybody to get healthy. But the main thing, when you start your journey, you have to be selfish for a minute. They're going to be like, girl, what's up, fella? How you doing this or whatever? And won't you come work out with me? But you have to be selfish. And that was another thing. I depended on people to take me to the gym. I depended on people to come and get me to go to grocery stores and all that stuff. And I'm so thankful, And, like I said, like Coach said, I had to start walking from the couch to the bathroom. And then it was like, she said, and then when I got a little better, it was like every 2 weeks you change my workout up.
Yep.
And then it was like 2 weeks. And then she was like, okay, this is the big one. She was like, I need you to walk outside to the corner and back. I'm like, oh my God. Are you serious?
That was
and
a
then
big
it was
deal.
like, she was like, and at first, and she kept saying, if you're willing to do the work, I am willing to help you. But if you're not willing to do the work, let me know and I will go. I was like, oh my God.
That's right.
And and I was like, I was battling with that. That mind is a mug.
Yes,
and
it
I was
is.
battling. I was like, okay, coach. And she was like, I'm going to check her. And then my youngest son, he loves my coach. I'm going to tell everything she doing, coach. I'm going to tell everything.
Oh, yeah. He was my assistant. Yes.
He was like, everything. He was like, nah, today you're supposed to go get up and go walk to the corner. You're supposed to do it 3 times a day. And here's the biggest thing. I had a membership at my gym where I'm at now since 2012. And they was taking the money out of my account. But it was like, I'm hollering like, it's this much and they taking it out. But see, when you doing the work, it ain't going to bother you.
That's right. Because you see the value in it.
Because you see the value
That's
in
right.
it.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
So we started with a little bit of walking, but how did we start with the food, Trace? Because you've battled eating disorders. You've battled, going on binges. You've talked about sitting down and eating a whole loaf of bread. And so I know for a fact with anybody, the food is the toughest part. Because some people will get up and exercise. Some people don't have social anxiety or going out the house, or some people can do stuff in their living room. But the food, the nutrition.
Baby, let me tell you something. Okay. Look, like Coach said, I did everything. I even got to the point where when I ate, I binged so much where I made myself throw up because I'm thinking, okay, that'll curb my appetite. But what I did, I started messing my stomach line up. And I said, nope, I can't do this. And then it was like my heart rate. When that thing mess with your heart, baby, let me tell you something. I don't play with that thing. I do not play with that. I said, oh, no. And here's the thing. And then she was like, I just need you to be real. I said, for real, for real? She said, from everything. Well, all do you eat? I said, I'm about to tell you. Let me tell you, before Coach came into my life, I was eating loaves of bread, 2 liter pops, candy. I couldn't have no 2 Snickers. I had to have like those 3 and 4. Like if I couldn't get the 3 and 4 king size, then I'm getting the $1 pack from the Family Dollar. I'll get 6 of them, because they're the mini size. And that was like for one day for me.
Wow.
So it was like that. I'm telling you, baby. And then it was like my kids would cook, and I'd be like, give me some of that. And here's the thing, and I knew that it was addiction because it was so addictive to the point where I would lie to my kids and my niece, and I'd be like, y'all know it's that time of the month. They'd be like, we got to get Mama some candy because I always say, it's that time of the month. And they be like, Mom, what's that time? When a woman come on that cycle, and that cycle hadn't even came. And so for many years, my niece was like, every time I come over here, Auntie, you always on your, girl, I'm telling you, you're going to go through this, girl, But then I had to be real, and then I'm like, Coach, I eat this. And the biggest thing, I was eating so much processed food.
Yes.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. It was, and Coach like, I just had this and I threw it in the microwave and this and this and that and whatever. And it's like, man. So it's been real.
Yeah, it has, because I remember when I first came over, one of your sons let me in, and he was holding a frozen pizza. I still remember that, because I still remember my first impression. And I remember thinking like, oh, this is going to be a lot of work. We have a lot to do. But I wasn't intimidated. I was ready to get to it. But you're right. You were coming from a very, very extreme place.
Yeah.
With, eating that much and the soda and the binging and the lying about what you're eating. And you're right. That's a very clear indication of addiction. Being ashamed of it, doing it in private, lying about it. And so, Trace, today, let's talk about what your diet is today.
Hey, come on. Hey.
Because I am so proud of you.
Fruits and vegetables, baby. Fruits and vegetables, baby.
Hey.
Them grains.
Hey.
Them grains. I may eat a little fish every now and then, but them grains.
Yes.
Hey. Oh, work it.
Vegan. Plant-based vegan. I am so proud of you, girl. No more microwave food, oven food. You're not hitting drive-thrus. You don't have your sons going out to get you.
I don't know when the last time I even. Oh my goodness.
Nope. I remember you recently telling me a story, because we're gonna have to talk some more about how many friends and relationships were disrupted during your weight loss. Because I remember you recently telling me about one of your friends, like, what were y'all stopping at Taco Bell? And they were like, Trace, what you want? And you like, nothing. And that was kind of a thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, she was like, well, I'm hungry. I'm like, dude, okay. I'm like, okay. She's like, you sure you don't want one? No, I don't want nothing. Okay, you know what? I do want something. I want a cup of water.
Right.
I want a cup of water.
Yes.
Because everybody know that I deal with that ice thing or whatever. I don't deal with it not like I used to, because, my blood is going up. But I'm just saying, like, okay, like, well, I'm not there where you at, but you're supposed to support me and do what you know.
Right.
But it was like, don't keep asking me the same thing, because I am sensitive, but then at the same time, it's like, come on.
I done told you, I don't eat that anymore.
Absolutely.
Right. And so now we made our transition to a whole foods plant-based diet. Trace, you drink water every day.
Baby, I'm telling you
what else do you drink? I don't think you drink anything.
I don't drink anything else.
But water.
I'm not gonna say I'm scared, but the thing was, and then when Coach had told me you only get 24 grams of sugar a day, I said, no, she did. 24. I looked at a popsicle. I am not lying. It was 32 grams.
Yes.
I said, if I eat this popsicle, I'm going over one popsicle.
One popsicle. That's
and then
right.
when she broke it down, and then I'm like, I said, Coach, I need help with this bread piece, with the sweet piece, because that was one of my things, the sweet piece and, the sweets in the bread. And then she was like, and then she, introduced me to the Ezekiel bread.
Yep.
I was like, okay. And then she was like, okay, here's your grams. It's only 5 grams of, sugar in, Ezekiel bread. And it's like a little more because you want the raisin bread.
Right.
I said, okay. But I'm like, that sugar though, like, oh my God.
That's the big one.
And then when I tell you, I'll be calling my coach and ask her like little simple things, because you never know, like far as I don't know, I didn't know how to treat myself, because I was scared that I would go back into that and start eating again. I'm like, Coach, when I supposed to treat myself, and I'm scared to eat this or whatever, and and I used to be like, and she'd be like, okay, Tracy, you can have this, but every now and then. It's not like you can't never have it, because if you say you can't never have it, then I'll be lying.
Right.
And it's like, if you want a piece of pie, you might have it right now, and then maybe 5 months later you might have it again. So you're not denying yourself from it. You just just staying away from it right now.
That's right. And you're in control now, because before it controlled you.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe I eat a whole pound of you.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I will.
Yes. And I think that's the biggest piece to understand is how much power food and how much power your emotions had over you. But now you've taken control. You've taken the wheel. You've gotten to the driver's seat. And that has taken over 2 years worth of work.
Yeah.
And we're still working.
Yeah.
Because you're down to 367, but we trying to get down to what?
I'm trying to get up under my tools, baby.
I know that's right, and you will.
Yeah, I am.
And you're because we gotta weigh in 2 days from today, don't we?
No, I gotta check the date. I gotta look on.
Okay.
What's that? I know it's this month.
Okay.
I know it's this month, so look out. I'm
Yeah.
telling my coach this month. I know it's this month, so look out. It's another weigh-in.
Yeah, because your last weigh-in was 367, but you said that was a couple months ago, right? So our new weigh-in is probably even less than that coming up soon. So I'm really excited to see where you're going, Trey. So let's talk really quickly about the relationship piece, because a lot of your relationships were broken as you begin to lose weight, go to the gym, stop eating crap, stop talking negative, when you started to love yourself again, fall in love with yourself, when you cut your hair off. I mean, I remember these things. And so what did losing weight do for your relationships with people in your life?
It was more, everybody knew me as Big Trey. And, you know, it was to the point where I would leave my door unlocked or whatever, and they'd come in like, you know, they know Tracey gonna be at home. And it was like, now it's like the new Tracey is like, oh, you acting funny and you act like this and whatever. And it was like, no, it's me getting my healthy on, because you were the main one saying you needed to get your weight down. But really you was feeling some type of way because you were comfortable with me being like that, because you were over, because it made you feel comfortable, because you was okay with it. And it's like, now I had one person tell me, well, let me hurry up because you catching up with me and you can't be catching up with me like that. I'm like, wow. You know, I had one person, you know, supposed to be, you know, like a workout partner. You sure, you know, you on the treadmill, you ain't gonna break that? You know, it's a lot of things, you know. It was like, wow. And here's the thing, I was prepared for it. I didn't know it was gonna be that strong, you know. When you told me, Coach, you know, everybody is not gonna be able to go with you, you know. Even the closest friends, you know, whatever, they're not gonna be able to go with you. And it was like, I'm like, okay, you know, and like I said, I had a friend that I went to high school with, it, whatever, you know, and she was like, you know, you need to lose weight. And I was like, now when I lose weight, you want to act funny, you want to say this or whatever. And I have other friends. It's like right now, I'm to the point, most of the time, I get my encouragement from myself or when I go to the gym. You know, it's like, they be like, girl, I wouldn't be catching no bus like that, but if it's for your health, I got to do what I got to do. Because there was a point where I couldn't catch the bus, but, you know, when you said, Coach, don't worry about the know-how, then that's when, you know, people was coming like, you need a ride, and they still do today. You need a ride home or whatever. And my, you know, my Zumba instructor, she'd be like, you need a ride? Did you go to the gym today? It's like, people are holding me accountable. They watching me at the gym. And, you know, even when I say I'm having a, you know, bad day, they be like, okay, you know, that's a product, but we know that you working.
Yes.
We see the transformation. You encourage me. I had people enjoying the gym because they're like, okay, you know, I need to, now I'm working on my eating part. But, you know, I was like, she was like, how do you do it? You know, and it's like, I said, you have to be real with yourself. I don't care if you ate 40 hamburgers in one day. You have to be real with yourself. You may mess up because you in the transition stage, but you have to get back up. You have to say, okay, I'm worth it. You know, if you messed up, because, oh, that was another thing. Remember, Coach, I used to tell you, like, I was like, I'm going to start on March 1st. And then I messed up by March 5th. And then I was like, I'm going to wait till April 1st. And I'm going to do it all. But see, the things that I go back to that cycle.
Yes.
And then that's more all this junk that I'm putting in. And then it's like, and then I had a thing with numbers. I had to start on the even number. And it had to come out an even number. And I'm like, if you caught a cold or if you fail or something, it don't matter what day.
Right.
And that's another thing, too. I had my different missions and challenges where I had failed.
Yes.
And I had a choice to say, am I going to get back up? Which means the fail part when I fell on my leg. And I had to be off for 2 weeks. And then the big major one, I was just, when I fell, I had to be off for like 2 months.
Yes.
And I'm calling Coach like... I don't know what I'm going to do, you know. But then she was like, Tracey, as long as you keep up with your eating or whatever, you may not could do the exercise, do something in the chair, do something. And I'm like, I don't know about weight loss is going to affect this. And I'm just crying or whatever. I'm like, I'm feeling bloated right now. She was like, girl, stop it. Because it's like, this was a big one for me. When I hurt my leg, I had to lay on my side for almost 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And then go to rehabilitation. So when you used to walking 2 and 3 miles, you know, and then go back down to like starting a half a mile. That was something for me.
That really was.
that was something. So,
absolutely.
yeah.
And I think it's important to acknowledge that you can get going, because that just happened this year.
Mm-hmm.
So or the end of last year. So over a year into your journey, you got hit with some roadblocks.
Mm-hmm.
And roadblocks are going to come, right? And I love how committed and dedicated you were to your new lifestyle, that it almost depressed you to think you couldn't work out. Before, it would have depressed you to think about working out.
Now it's the opposite.
Now
I'm
it's
like,
the
Coach,
opposite.
please.
Yes.
She was like, Tracy, it's going to be okay. But I was
Calm
like,
down, girl. Just calm down.
I'm like, you want to see me. I don't want to gain no weight. I might have put. She was like, okay, let's see. But this is a part of my journey, because I've never had to be set out that long, almost 2 months.
Right.
2 months.
Since we started, right.
Yeah. You know, it's like, hey, baby, we got to do something about this. But I couldn't do nothing because I had my leg was inflamed to the point where I couldn't do it but sit there.
Well, I just want to be the first to say, for the 100th time, how proud of you I am, how motivating you are to so many people. We're going to put her social media information below, guys, because I want you to follow Tracey on Instagram and on Facebook. She invites you to do that, because her journey, to now losing 100 and what pounds? How many pounds you down now?
Well,
180?
It's like 600, and then subtract 367.
All the way down to, from starting
That's
from 600.
Like something.
Yeah. I was starting from the 503. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
But starting from 600, you're down over 200 pounds. And so that is so motivational and inspiring. And so many people ask her how she did it, where can they start? And I think maybe a handful of people have stuck it out and really went through with it, because I think when people ask those type of questions, they're not expecting you to say, like, you just got to buckle down, eat right, and exercise, right? That's the simple formula. There was no surgery. There was no pill. There was no shortcut. And so I'm super proud of you. And you, just to be clear, you still don't have a car. You still take the bus to and from the gym on a daily basis. To get to and from Whole Foods or your local grocery store, you're catching the bus, or you'll have a ride. People come pick you up. But like you said earlier, when you committed to the lifestyle and the changes started happening, everybody wanted to be a part of it now, right? People have given you free rides, money, blessed you with shoes. I mean, so much.
Even, let me tell you something, even the bus driver was like, girl, just come on, I already know. Even the bus driver.
Come on, Trace. Don't even worry about the fare.
Don't even worry about the fare.
I see you so much, and I know what you're doing.
And then here's another thing. It was like my bus fare was $175. Somebody linked me up to the point where now my bus fare is 50 cents. It's 50 cents.
$5 bill take you almost the whole week.
Boom.
I love it.
Yeah.
And that's on a fixed income, because you're not working, right? You get assistance, right? You get aid. You get, food assistance. And so, but through all of that, guys, listen very clearly here, because this is important. She's not working. She doesn't have a car, right? And she's on a fixed income, and she's still been able to lose over 200 pounds strictly because her mindset is in a place where, don't worry about the know-how.
That's it.
Yeah. Right, Trace?
Absolutely.
Just go out there, and the blessings will come. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So I encourage you guys, right? She's not on any medications today. That's my favorite part, right? We've reversed the diabetes, and she's still over 300 pounds, but we've been able to reverse that. The blood pressure is stable, right? The weight is coming off.
My doctor had to check it twice. She said, wait a minute, because I was only diagnosed for a year. That really pushed me. I said, she was like, you got to start taking it. I said, oh boy,
Yeah.
And even my doctor, my newest doctor, even though she left, she was like, no. She was like, I don't feel in my spirit. And that was another confirmation. She said, but I do have to treat you for the, the issues that you have in your tissues or whatever.
Right.
But she said, I just don't feel that you need the surgery. She said, you're going to do, she was at the time, like Weight Watchers or whatever. I'm like, okay.
Right.
But she said, but I do have to treat you, for those things. But, she said, but she kind of geeked my head up. She was like, I need you to lose 1 pound a day. 1 pound a month. I said, 1 pound. I said, she is playing. I'm gonna do that 1 pound.
Right.
But it ended up when I first, dropped down, it was like within 2 months, 2.5 months, she was like, "You down 20?" He's like, "Dang, you down 60? Then you down 100? Oh my God,
Crazy.
Yeah,
crazy. And I'm so proud of you, Trace. And so you have been, you've gotten favor as far as having people in your life who support you, and you've slowly been able to push out the individuals who don't, right? And I'm so glad that you have stayed committed to the cause, because you still have a long journey ahead of you. This is one out of hundreds of times that you're going to tell this story. And I'm going to be sitting in the front row every time. And I cannot wait to be a student in your Zumba class.
Oprah gonna call
yeah.
us.
Oprah gonna call us.
Oprah gonna call us.
Oprah.
Right.
Oprah, our phone is on.
Yeah.
You can call us.
Yeah.
We'll be happy to share. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay. So, I just want to say, Tracy, that I know we still have a ways to go, but I have so much confidence in you, and you motivate me more than you know. And I tell so many other clients about you, because a lot of people don't believe they can do it, and a lot of people don't think it's possible, and many of them have less weight to lose than you had to lose, right? And so now, standing where you are today, what do you have to say to the people? Give them, if there's one piece of advice you can give to individuals on this journey, what would it be?
I want to say you can do it. Coming from 600 pounds and down to 367, you can do it. It's the renewing of your mind. If people and family members don't support you, begin to think on the things to support yourself. Even when you can't feel it, just say it, I support me. I support me. And it'll get to the point where, okay, if things start to shift, that's because God is opening up that door for you, because you begin to say, I support me. I know some of you may have kids or whatever, but take some time out and just say, okay, even if you start off with one day and just writing down what your desire is to getting healthy is. That's the first thing. Yes. But the first thing, because who's going to take care of you? Who's going to take care of you? We depend on people, but who's going to take care of you? We can take care of everybody else. We can take care of, our husbands. And don't get me wrong, that's, God bless you with your significant other, however. But you still need to take time for you. Because sometimes, even in the relationships, sometimes we be like, I don't think he loved me because I put on this weight. No, it's a mental thing that you feel about yourself, because in some relationships, that person love you for you, but at the same time, you have to love yourself, support yourself. I promise you, for a long time, I dealt with people, and I was attracting people, as far as feeling some type of way about myself and low self-esteem. But I'm at to the point, even my friends are changing to the point where it's like, okay, but I'm telling you, it works if you work it. Just start with your mind. Say, even if you don't feel it, I support me. Just say it every day. Even if you can't feel it, I support me.
I support me.
I support me.
That's it.
I support me in my health, mind, body, and soul. Write, like my coach had me to do. Write one thing. Because if I give you 100, you're going to be like, I can't do that. Write one thing that you love about yourself. Whatever you like. Say, for instance, you have low self-esteem, like my coach and them has told us to do. Write the opposite. And just look at it. And say it. And I promise you, it works if you work it for a long time. It's like, I love me, I support me, and then I didn't feel it. But then here come coach. Then here come people taking me to ride. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to be funny. The men are looking good too. Okay? I am not gonna lie to you.
Hello.
My person that's supposed to be for me is coming. But see, God already know what's in me. Okay? Because I'm gonna track what's in me. I got to keep plant-based. I got to keep, loving on me. And he's going to enhance. Because, see, if you try to allow somebody to, even with people, if you allow somebody to tell you and you don't tell it for yourself, then you feeding off of them. But see, a person going to come into your life, enhance what you already feeling. So if you just take a minute and look at your circle. If you hear people always complain, I can't do this and I can't do that, then guess what? That's what you're feeling about yourself. But when you begin to say, I support me, I love me, I'm taking care of me, people going to start coming around because they love themselves. I'm so around so many gym people and loving on themselves. We can go all day, but I'm going to leave it right there. One day, Coach May had me back on, which she probably will. But I promise you, I just want somebody to be encouraged. I know it's 1 or 2, 3 or 4 people who my size or a little bit maybe around my size. You can do it, baby. I promise you. man or female. I'm not just gonna say, I always usually talk to women, but it be a few too, men. But me and you too, you know what I'm saying?
That's
You
right.
lovable too, just like women are lovable. But I need you to just say, I support me. And I'm telling you, that's when the journey began for you.
That's it. That's it. I'm so proud of you.
Hey! Support you.
Hey, I support you.
Hey, hey.
So proud. Thank you guys for joining us. Another masterclass here inside of the Black Health Academy. Listen, if this motivated you, if this inspired you, drop a comment below. Tracey wants to hear from you. She wants to know who she touched out there. So drop a comment below. Let us know what you think. Let us know how you feel. Let us know how we can support you to help you support you, okay? Listen, until the next time, we'll see you back here inside the Black Health Academy. Until then, take care.
See you later.